In this video, I'm going to show you how to sew two pieces of felt together using a blanket stitch. The aim of the blanket stitch is to create even stitches. It helps to envision little squares, so we want the length of the stitches to be the same as the distance between them. If you like, you can take a ruler or measuring tape and mark a 1/4 inch on your finger as a guide. Thread your needle with the length of embroidery floss or pearl cotton thread like I'm using. It's best to work with a length that's around 18 inches long to avoid tangling. Tie a knot at the end. Insert your needle into the bottom piece of the felt. And then insert in the front piece, front to back, and you want to get the needle to come through in that same spot. So it's important to poke your needle straight down, not at an angle, otherwise it won't end up in the same spot. So it might take a few attempts. And then I move my thread over here and I pull up, and you'll see that it's catching in this loop. And just tug on it. And now we're going to move over 1/4 inch. Pull straight up and tug it a bit. I'll show you a few more. So remember, poke straight down and then pull your needle up, and it will catch on this loop that you can see. So that is leaving a thread across the top. Let's do one more. Okay. When you're getting close to a corner, you want to plan a bit. So think about where you want the last stitch to land, and then think about how many more you want to fit before that. So put there. I'm going to try to get 2 in before the corner one. So to make a really nice looking corner, you want to pay close attention to make sure that this stitch and this stitch are going to be the same length. Now we're going to poke into the same hole again, and I like to angle, I want that loop over there. I like to angle the needle with this corner and pull in that direction. And you can use your needle to sort of shift it and tug it so that it's at a 45-degree angle. And go into that hole again. Pull up. If it moves over, you can use the needle and your finger to hold it in place and just fiddle with it a bit. If it doesn't look the way you'd like, I think it's always worth it to pull it out and try again. And just keep going along the next side. You might have noticed that I like to put my finger around and grab the thread. That just holds it down and keeps it taut. keeps it in place for my next loop. Now I'm going to show you what to do when you're about to run out of thread. Open up your 2 layers of felt and slide your needle here underneath that last stitch. And then catch it in this loop here and pull tight. And you can check to make sure that this looks the way you want. And you could even do that again if you want to make it extra secure. Catch that loop and pull tight. And then you can trim. So this is a method I came up with on my own. I don't know if anyone else does it this way, but a lot of other methods that I've seen leave a visible knot, and I love how clean this looks. Then you'll rethread your needle, and we're going to open up again, and to join a new thread we're going to go behind this stitch again, just slide it under, oops, try to not catch the felt, and pull it almost all the way through and leave a little tail here, enough to where it's easy to work with, and then tie a knot. Oops, let me try again. And 1 should be plenty. You can tuck that in. Now we're going to slide the needle between these 2 layers and up here. So not over here, it needs to be on this side and now you're ready to keep sewing your blanket stitch. When you're close to the end, again, you want to plan and think about how many stitches you can fit in. And if you aren't happy with how it looks, it's really easy. You just take the thread off your needle and from the top just pull like that. Thread your needle and try again. So now what we have to do is join. So we don't want to leave this without a thread going across. And also our last stitch looks like this. So the last thing you do is flip your work over and slide your needle underneath this little V here, these 2 stitches. And then pull up, and you'll see how those are pulled into place and how we've connected on top. And then slide your needle underneath these diagonally, and then put your needle through the loop to form a knot and pull tight. You could do another knot, but that seems like enough to me. And then poke your needle in between the back and the front layer of felt. And then try to push it as far as you can in between. And then poke it out somewhere, anywhere, and pull it all the way through. Grab your scissors and snip it as close as you can. There's one more little trick I wanted to show you. If you've come to the end of your thread and you have very little to work with, here's what you can do. Like I showed you before, slide under that stitch, and if you feel like you can barely reach that way, you can actually poke the butt of your needle, so to speak, through that loop, and that makes it easier to work with that little bitty tail that you have left. And if this ever looks angled too much, you can poke your needle here and just push it over. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you can now confidently sew felt beanbags, crowns, and soft toys. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.